Good evening from the echo chamber this evening. I'm Terry.
And I'm Kevin.
Tonight on the echo chamber, we're going to have a deep investigation into why your coffee always spills when you wear white. Shocking revelations about adulting, and our top story this evening, socks. Missing, presumed eaten.
We'll also bring exclusive coverage on important global items like our brunch menus secretly scams and is Wi-Fi merely a suggestion.
These are very good issues to look at, and our experts, mainly us, will weigh in.
Stay tuned. Stay skeptical. This is the Echo Chamber. Real talk, fake expertise. Well, Terry is. I'm not. Yeah, we got quite a crowd. Wow, thanks.
Good evening,
I'm over here
everybody,
looking
and
for him.
welcome.
I'm like, it's just me. There's nobody here. That's crazy. Yeah.
Well, they're watching from all over this evening.
Yeah.
How's things
So
going
where do you
out
wanna
your
start?
way?
Oh man, things are going well.
Good.
Crappy weather. It's hot, raining all the time. How about you? Same thing?
It's not really hot, but it's been raining.
No, we're kind of hot. We'll be hot for God till December. For God's sake, we walk around in shorts at Christmas.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, let's start off. Speaking of the weather, I mean, we even drink coffee when it's hot.
Yes.
But why is it that you always seem to spill coffee when you're wearing a white shirt?
I don't know.
You don't ever do it on any other color.
No, I was gonna say I have a ton of white shirts, and if it's not coffee, it's freaking ketchup or something. I have a ton of black shirts too, and they don't have a mark on them. Isn't that crazy?
It's great. Maybe it's a magnet.
It could be.
Maybe the coffee bean and white don't mix.
You don't ever wear a white shirt when you go eat spaghetti, because you're gonna get it on you. Coffee's the same thing. I drink coffee all the time. I don't know about you, but that it'll always it gets in my beard too, but it does get on my white shirts. That's why I don't wear them a lot.
Kind of trickle through that hole in your lip. Is that how you get it in your beard?
Yeah, I have a whole. Yeah, I do have one. How do you like your coffee anyway?
Well, I'm kind of a sissy, so I have to have cream and sugar.
Don't. Yeah. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, well, that concludes this night's episode. I'm done with this guy here. Jesus Christ. I can't even.
You remember the old Fort McClellan mud. That's what you like drinking.
Yeah, man, Army coffee. I busted into one of our when you're on cat duty or whatever, you have like a conference room, and I go busting in there, me being me, and I'm like, does anybody know where the coffee is? Somebody sent me to the coffee. I came back in and I was like, phew, because I drink mine black, right? And somebody goes, is it good? I said, man, this is Army coffee. And they're like, what's Army coffee? I said, well, if you spill it outside, it'll cover potholes, resurface your driveway. It does all that stuff. And if you get too much on you, it'll start to eat holes in your clothes. I said, that's freaking Army coffee. And that's what this was. I mean, it had to spin it out, right? It was solid. But that's how I drink mine black. So it really shows up on a white shirt.
Yeah, that, and there was another thing, when we do our laundry and you're thinking, okay, I've got 12 pairs of socks in here, and when you pull it out of the dryer, you only have 11 and a half pair.
So is the dryer easy to me think, or is it user error? Do you just don't put them in? What happens?
Or you leave one in the washer, and you just don't see it.
Or did you get caught in the woods somewhere and didn't have no toilet paper? I mean, be honest.
I do a Ranger fold if I have to.
I'm like, I came home with both these socks on. I did. I took them off. I remember plain as day. And then why do I only have one? I don't understand that. And man, I can't stand trying to match them things either. But you always end up with extras. I don't understand it either. Could be a conspiracy theory. Could be the Russians.
So let's get over to your thought of brunch.
Brunch. What is brunch?
Usually, if it's 10 or 11 o'clock, I'm kind of caught between, am I going to have breakfast or am I going to have lunch? I'm not going to combine the two. I'm going to have one or the other.
I know. I don't understand. Yeah. So it's like, well, we've got a brunch menu. I'm like, what the hell is that? I mean, it's like, if I want breakfast, I'll eat it at 11 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock at night. It doesn't matter. So I wonder if it's just the time that you eat breakfast, or do you decide I'm going to eat lunch? I don't know. That's a good one.
Probably should have had a guest on tonight to ask that question to them. Maybe we'll do that next week.
I was going to say, send us an email. Tell me what you think. I don't know. I don't do much.
Yeah.
Typically, that sounds like I'm supposed to hold my pink. You know, that's some.
Only when you're sipping black coffee.
Well, just kind of sip that all day and into the night. So it's always brunch, I guess, if you will. Yeah, I never did brunch. I don't ever hear it. You know, usually it's, you know, let's go to lunch or something. It's like, let's go to brunch. I'm busy 10 o'clock in the morning. You know, we break at lunchtime. I don't know. Brunch is overrated, in my opinion.
We should have went at 6 o'clock.
Well, think about Waffle House. Waffle House open 24/7.
And I love Waffle House.
Oh my God! Scattered, smothered, covered, baby. If you don't like that,
put the fucking bowl. Put bowl. Get the bowl. And
yeah.
Put gravy on top of it.
Oh, you trying to die? What are you doing?
Oh my God, dude, it's so good. And I didn't even know they did that. But the waitress told me one day. She said, "Have you ever had it with gravy?" And I'm like, "No, but I'm willing to." And every time I go in there, that's all I get.
No, but I'll fix it to you.
Yeah.
Bowl with gravy on it. I got to remember that.
It's got eggs and hash browns, whatever sausage and bacon. I always have mad mushrooms in there with mine, and then slam it with the sausage gravy. Oh my God!
I'm starting to drool, man. I'm about to start.
Do that, or I'm gonna have to sign off and go to Waffle House.
Like, see y'all later. We'll finish this crap at Waffle House, man. Yeah. Scattered, smothered, and covered, baby.
Yeah.
What do they call that bowl? The heart attack? What do they call it?
I don't. Sure. I'd have to.
They call it slap your mama. They should.
Slap your mama because it sticks to your ribs.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. That's good, man. I'll have to try it. I hadn't been to Waffle House in forever. No real reason. I just hadn't been. I don't do a lot of breakfast.
Yeah.
I do breakfast on special occasions, you know.
Yeah, but you know, you can have breakfast for dinner. I mean, that's the best time.
Well, you know, we made up those stupid rules. I mean, I'll eat what I want whenever I want it. I don't need to. Oh, well, this is breakfast food. Shoot, I'll eat pancakes at 12 a.m. I don't care. You know? That's one of those things that just ties right into the revelations about adulting. You know, when you become an adult, man, when you're a kid, you kind of locked into what your parents had. You know, we eat breakfast, we eat lunch, we eat dinner. When you become an adult, I'll eat whatever the hell I want to eat.
Yeah, some days I don't want even adult.
Oh, no, it's overrated. You remember when you were, I tell this a lot, you know, we're just talking to people. It's like, you remember when you were young, you couldn't wait to be, we'll go back, way back. Couldn't wait to be a teenager. Remember, you were 13, you were 12. It's, oh man, I'm a teenager now, you know. And then you couldn't wait to be 15, you know, so you could get your learner's permit and go drive. And then 16, man, I can drive at night, you know. And 17, I'm an adult. Shit. You don't know anything at 17, and you don't realize you don't until you get to 18, and then to 20, and then 40, 50, whatever. Then you realize just how stupid you were. But then you get to 21, man, I can legally drink. And then it seems like from that moment on, especially when you get married and get kids, it goes by so quickly. It's like it's Monday and then it's Friday, and it's Monday and then it's Friday, and then Saturday's here and then it's Monday again. It goes by so quickly, and you were warned about it your entire life. I know you were, I was too. And so, man, you have to concentrate to slow the time down, you know. And so I would go back. I get carded sometimes when I buy, alcohol or dip or whatever.
Sure.
It's just crazy. I'm like, look at my freaking face. Who's young and looks like me, for God's sake? Nobody. But I always tell them, I was like, man, I'd cut my left arm off if I could go back armed with only half of the knowledge I have right now. Because you just don't realize how stupid you were, you know. I don't know. That's the way I look at it. I mean, obviously we can't go back. We just have to keep moving. But yeah, it's overrated, man. I'm just a big old kid with gray hair. We talk about it all the time. If me and you sit here and talk, you get together with your buddies, you act like a bunch of idiots.
Especially on the golf course.
Well, yeah. Well, that's where you're supposed to act like that.
Yeah.
So.
And going back to that, the adulting side, it's just like every time I get carded, I always thank them.
Do you?
Yeah. Thank you for doing that, because I haven't been carded in 30 years. And they look at me like, not that old. Yeah, but I don't get carded because of the gray hair.
So, fun fact, in Tennessee, their law is to card everyone. And the reason being is their licensing in Tennessee, if you have DUI or anything related to that, it flags your license. So, and because I asked him, because we went through there, and I look like I look, and I'm like, I don't expect anybody to ask me for my ID. And I was in Tennessee at a little place, and they were like, "Can I see your ID?" I'm like, "Are you freaking serious?" I'm like, "It's okay, but it's also aggravating." But yeah, they literally have a law there for that. And I was like, I had no idea, because I had to ask. I was like, why do you look at somebody like me and want my freaking car? I said, my kids are older than you. So, but that's their law,
And God bless them. I mean, if it keeps all the underage drinkers, because we were underage drinkers.
Who was?
I heard there were some folks back then.
You heard?
Yeah.
In your area only?
Well, no, not in just my area. It was all over.
It was everywhere, since we didn't do that.
Yeah.
I'm looking for. I heard it thunder. I probably shouldn't lie like that. I'm like, I'm going to get struck by lightning in my own daggum house. So. Yeah, but that's the other part of adulting they don't tell you about. When you start getting children, man, and you start worrying about somebody other than yourself, that's a weird phenomenon too.
Yep.
Some folks don't have children, and I tell them, I'm like, that shit's overrated too. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, oh, I love the hell out of my children. Don't get me wrong. Would fight you to the death for them. But if they weren't here ever, then I wouldn't think like that. So, I heard that comedian. He made me laugh so hard. I just about peed. He was like, so my wife and I adopted our children, and everybody started clapping in the audience, and they're like, oh, cool, and he goes, yeah, they were pretty bummed about it. We just told them. So everybody's like, oh, God. We adopted them out is what we did. We didn't take them in. We got rid of them. So yeah, they just found out about it. They were pretty bummed. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah,
it's different nowadays. I don't think I'd want to be raising kids. I keep asking our son if I could ever get a grandkid anytime soon.
Yeah.
It's like, no, Dad, just not ready. And, I can't blame him, because I don't think I'd want to raise a kid this day and age.
Yeah, things are different now. and I know our parents thought the same thing, and then their parents thought the same thing, and the world in general has just, declined. It's harder and harder to it's just harder and harder to raise kids when you got the environment like it is, in general. You can only do so much, and you can't be with them 24/7. So, the outside influence is strong. And then the other side of it is, though, you're never really ready to have a kid. Hell, I wasn't ready to have a kid. That's part of growing. You look backwards and you're like, good God, I was so stupid. I didn't know any better. I swore I knew everything. You just don't, you know. One person said, I can't remember who it is. I need to start writing this stuff down. But they said, when you're a parent and you're parenting your kid, the kid has to understand, I've been a dad literally only as long as you've been a kid. So I don't know any more than you think I know, I just know the experience that I have, and that's all I got to offer. But I've been a dad literally the same amount of time as you've been a child. And so, you make mistakes. There's some things I would have done differently, but hindsight's 2020, which is that's another adult word, isn't it? Like you start getting all philosophical. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think back to our Army days too. I've always thought, where would I have been if I'd have stayed in the whole time?
Dude, you don't know how many times I think about that.
Because I did recruiting duty, and they wanted me to go to drill sergeant school, and I didn't want to do that. I didn't join the Army to go to drill sergeant school or to be a recruiter.
Yeah.
But then I think, well, what if I could have spent that next 2 years on the trade, and then basically write my own ticket after that? Because after that you would get to choose, what station you want to go to.
Yeah, I don't know. I fight that sometimes too. Yeah, I think anybody that's a normal human being thinks back, what ifs. And I do the same thing, and you literally can get so far into it, like you can feel it, and then I have to snap out of it because you don't want to stay there very long, For those of us who, believe in the good Lord, we try to follow, and you try to just say, hey, whatever path I'm on is the path that I'm supposed to be on. And yes, you're going to make mistakes along the way. We all do. We all have. Hell, I'll probably do it later on tonight at some point, But, that's another part of adulting that's kind of a big deal. At some point you got to start, owning some of those things. As a kid, it's always somebody else's fault or whatever. But as an adult, you got to eat it, man. If you did something stupid, you got to eat it. And it's not that bad after you eat it a few times. It tastes like crap first couple times, but after a while, it's like it feels good to go, hey, I screwed that up. I apologize. It's much easier to me.
Yeah. So I don't think I would want to go in now. I see all these kids that are signing up to enlisting, going to service out. This is so much different than when you and I were in.
Could you imagine pulling out what do they pull out? What is it now? They got a little safeguard or something?
Yeah.
Stop, you hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
I could not. I wouldn't. If they handed me one when I was there, or when we were there, I think I would have torn it up and go, no thanks. I ain't gonna punk out like that, Yeah, I wouldn't have punked out like that. I actually had.
Hooked himself up to the buffer, and he stepped out on the ledge and threw the buffer over the ledge, and he's still standing on the ledge. You remember that?
I don't.
It might have been before you guys came.
I think it was before it had to be, because I'd have remembered that, because we'd have been talking about his ass for years.
Of course, we were on the 3rd floor, right?
Yeah.
And those buffer cords, they were like 700 miles long. Well, this guy in the middle of the night decided he was going to get on the ledge and tie the buffer cord around his neck. threw the
Did he
buffer
really?
off. Yeah, threw the buffer off. He's still standing on the ledge, but he looked down and the buffer was in a million pieces.
Hey, don't worry about hanging yourself, buddy. They're gonna kill your ass as soon as
Yeah,
they find you.
the drill sergeant. Oh my God, he smoked him,
He should have. He
and
should have
then made
eaten him
him go
alive.
down and pick every piece of that buffer up. It
Yeah, I
was,
definitely didn't see that.
yeah.
I couldn't imagine what the rate of dropout is now, compared to then. And we had it easy compared to the Vietnam era guys. You listen to those guys, and, they were pretty tough. I feel like we were pretty tough. And, I don't walk around with, a crutch, so to speak. It's like, no. But now, man, it's scary, man. These are the guys defending us, and it's like, hey, there ain't no safe space. Yeah, there's no safeguards out on the battlefield, buddy. You pull ceasefire, yeah, negative. No, that ain't happening.
They'll
So, I
shoot
don't know.
the card right out of your hand.
Yeah, a good sniper would for sure. Yeah, we had I think in basic I did basic separate from you guys, but we had some people try to hurt themselves and had a couple of them go crazy, and I remember they were there when we left. I think when we were in MP school, it was MP school. So it was during that time. I was a squad leader, first squad, second squad, I can't remember. And my bunkmate, he disappeared. Duncan was his name. I probably shouldn't say that, but he disappeared. Woke up one day, he was gone. And I remember having to report, drill sergeant. I got one missing. It's like you got one missing. I don't know what to tell you. He's gone. He left. He freaking left. And
Just went AWOL, huh?
yeah. And I remember it was probably less than a week later. I saw him walking him in. I was like, dude, you not only are you not going anywhere, you're gonna be here long after we're gone. All you had to do was make it.
And you're getting
MP school
every day.
Yeah, MP school was a cakewalk.
Yeah.
Compared to freaking basic for me. But, I'll never forget that. I was like, of course I'm getting smoked because he's gone. I'm like, what you want me to do? I look back now, that's why you don't go through at this age. I'm not doing that. It's stupid.
That's like that night we had laundry duty.
Yeah.
And the only thing I had was that 1776 shirt from, the 4th of July celebration that was coming up.
Yeah.
And it was me and Provost and I think Rick Young.
Yeah.
We were the only three that got called out in front of God and everybody. And we had, of course, that was 1989, and we had to do from 1776 to 1989 push-ups before we graduated. We graduated the next week. Remember? Dang. I think it was the next week we went to MP
That's
graduation.
a lot of damn push-ups.
Every time we seen that drill sergeant, we had to drop. He didn't care if you did 10, could do 5, as long as you got those push-ups done by the time you graduated. So, needless to say, I never kept that shirt. I ended up throwing it away.
Oh, I would have.
I didn't want
like, if I burn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I burn it, can we call it even? Or
yeah. So I never brought that shirt home with me. I'm like, nope, that got you in trouble.
That's funny. I think about those days, and I wish, I'm glad I hooked up with you and Provost, and I think about some of those other guys. Like, man, I'd love to see where they are now. There was a couple drill sergeants that I found on social media. One of them was from my basic class, and I sent him a message. I was like, "Hey, this is when I went through, and I remember you." And he was like, "Unfreaking real." It's pretty cool. Fast forward, he's like, "Dang, you're all grown up now." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'll smoke your butt now if you're not careful." I remember he was a little guy, he had to look up, like, I was still tall. I wasn't as tall as you, but I was still tall, and he got to look up at us. And I didn't get that, him looking up at me, yelling at me, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, now I'll just pick you up like a baby and hold you. I'll be like, it's all right. Quit yelling, you know. But yeah, I miss that. I miss it sometimes. That was some good times, you know. Even though it was
Didn't
tough.
miss that. I didn't miss that 15-mile road march we did to go to Bivouac.
God, no, that sucked.
And then it fucking stormed to beat hell that night.
Yeah, we ran. I think at the end, did we run? Did we do a 10-mile run? I think at the end. I mean, it wasn't fast paced or nothing, but it was still. It was that was fun. I mean, we were done. You know, it's like we were already done. So, I was trying to think of our drill sergeant's name. Then it's Drill Sergeant McGrath was one of them. I remember him.
Dog.
Yeah, he was begging me to go to freaking airborne, begging me. Man, I get your paperwork in, get your paper. He did drive me insane. I was like, I had a girlfriend at home. That's another one of those things you were talking about earlier. It's like, you look back, it's like all I had to do was say, let me go. And I would have stayed there a couple days and then off to airborne school I'd have been. You know, just that fast. I was in shape as hell. It wouldn't have been nothing but a thing. It was like, you'll make the run. I'm like, well, I know I'll make the run. I run like a freaking cheetah now. So I was like, it's fine. But yeah, those are the things I think about sometimes too. It's like, man, I'd have got my wings, you know. It wasn't in the cards at the time. So, but still love to find out if I could see. I wish somebody had a photo. You know, they were taking photos back in those days, and there wasn't cell phones, or there wasn't even digital cameras, for God's sake. It'd be like, so what? Somebody took a picture. I'd love to see that and remember those people and try to find them. I think that'd be cool.
I'll have to look in our book.
You got a book?
Yeah, I'll have to pull a McClellan book out.
Shoot, I didn't know there was a book.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be cool.
I'll have to check it out. I'll get with you.
Yeah, let's do that. So why would you think Wi-Fi is a suggestion? Because it just works when it wants to, or just decides, screw it, I ain't working no more?
I think it's probably a teaser. It's like, okay, the system's down, but here, you can get a little snippet of this and see what you think. Not that we're going to give it to you all the time.
No.
So
I hate, traveling around, man. I hate hooking to Wi-Fi, like in hotels, and it's so slow. You might as well just use cellular on your phone. But if you're having to work off of a laptop, our laptops have cellular feature on them, which is cool. I just use that. I don't even hook to the Wi-Fi. I mean, it can't get any slower. You remember the old dial-up modems back in the day? You hear them dialing in the back. We thought we were the cat's ass, Until
somebody picks up the phone and interrupts the signal. Like, I'm on the computer.
We need to find that sound and like a sound bite of it. Just play it one time. It just make me laugh.
Oh, I'm sure we can find it.
I'm sure you can. That's some AOL shit there. That's what that.
You've got
AOL.
mail.
Yeah. Oh man.
Go back to MySpace and
yeah.
What was the other one? Where you download? Oh, Napster. You download music from Napster.
Oh man. Oh gosh. Yeah, I forgot about Napster. Well, those are things that make you go, man, when did that come out? Then you go back and look at it. It was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
20 years ago. It's probably longer than that. Now that I sit and think about
56, so it's been 30 years ago anyway.
What is?
Back before we were in, so it had to be maybe 35 years ago.
What, Napster?
Yeah.
Good Lord, is it a bit? See there? That's what I'm talking about. It's like things like that make you just sit there and think. It's like, God almighty, man. That's been a while. That's been a minute. Well, I had some other things I was going to show you. Oh, so this is kind of cool. I saw this. May 30th, 1935. Take a stab at what happened on that day.
30th.
Yeah, you know, you
So
were.
year I was born.
I was going to say I thought you were 10, so you should remember. I don't remember, but I thought you would. So in 1935, May 30th, Babe Ruth played his final game. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
I mean, you watched him play, didn't you?
Yeah. I used to sit right behind the dugout.
Oh, Lord. I thought so. That's why I figured you knew it. But, yeah, that's
I didn't remember
interesting.
that being his final game. It's pretty wild.
1935, May 30th, today.
And who was
That's
the first
interesting.
person to beat his record?
That's a good question. I don't know. Who was it?
Look it up, Google man,
Oh.
because I don't remember right offhand.
That's Mr. Smartass. Let's see. To beat his record? Well, hell, we're going to find out now. Okay. I don't know. Okay, so the interweb said, who is the first player to break Babe Ruth's home run record? Says asked by Hank Aaron was it Hank Aaron?
Hank Aaron.
Henry Aaron.
And 1974.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Well, see, I was alive then. Hank Aaron. Interesting. I didn't see either one of those play, and I bet it would have been cool. That is cool. Google man with the wind over there. That's interesting. Well, did we learn anything? Did we learn anything?
Well, we learned that we still couldn't figure out how our socks had gotten lost.
I don't think anybody knows the answer to that. They might.
I don't want to take the time to pull the dryer out and take the back off to find it.
You know, it's just easier to just go buy more socks. You know what I mean?
Cheaper than that because they sell them in packs of 12.
Right. Could you imagine selling your dryer and you know, you don't ever look at it, you sell it to somebody and they call you on the phone and they're like, bro, I have a 5-gallon bucket. I got a 5-gallon bucket full of fucking socks. Could you come get them, please? Like, I'll be damned. This whole time.
I'll bet you if you put these together, you'll have sets all over again.
Have sets everywhere.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even need to buy them anymore. That's crazy.
Maybe next week we ought to try to get some a guest on, maybe to kind of see how they feel.
You got somebody?
Yeah.
You got somebody?
Yeah, he's a crayon eater.
Okay, well.
Or if you got somebody that's not a crayon eater, then we don't have to buy him crayons.
No, I'm interested in the crayon eater. I'll go get a fresh pack of 64.
He likes the 120s.
Okay. Good Lord, I reckon he does.
He's hungry. He spent 20 years in the Corps. Yeah.
Man, he still eats them, doesn't he?
I guarantee it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I tell him every day. Every time I talk to him, what flavor are you on today?
Well, as long as he can handle a little, friendly ribbing. I don't know him, so I mean, he might want to fight me, but I'm like, dude, you're gonna have to drive a long way. I don't know, you'll probably be tired by then. You won't even think about why he was mad at me. But I will get him some crayons.
Shannon's a pretty good dude. He and I didn't see. He and I didn't see eye to eye for a while.
Right. You talked him into it.
He didn't have a choice.
Right.
It's either my way or you hitting the highway.
It's my way or it's my way. That's your two choices.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's got a choice. Yeah. I
I'd
might
like to
get one
get
of
Paul on with us, but he's
He's
tighter than Dick's hat band.
he's he's paranoid somebody's gonna. I mean, it's like, come on, guy. We are adults. We can tailor it to you. Just because you know it's not gonna get you in trouble.
Yeah.
If it does, then you're in the wrong place.
Yeah, I mean, if our pictures are still on the post office wall, then we need to know that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we wouldn't say anything that's going to get anybody in trouble. I mean,
No.
I think I mean, I'm not saying anything I wouldn't say at work, really.
Me neither.
Nothing's offensive. It's all in good fun, and we're not going to get into things that would trigger. If what we talk about triggers you, then you need to go see somebody.
Yeah.
So, we should try to get him on here. I got a guy I know would come on. I got a couple people I know would come on. We just need to plan it.
Yeah. Well, let's plan it. Let's plan it for next week.
Well, get your guy next week, and I'll go talk to mine this week coming, and then maybe get him for the next, see if he wants to get on there for a little bit.
Do that.
Yeah, that'd be fun. They're running about 38 minutes, 40 minutes. Yeah. It's not too bad.
No. And I think, as we get along more in this, and, we got a couple sponsors that we need to mention probably next few episodes, but everything's just, trying to keep us going and keep the lights on. And
try to get some of these bourbon sponsors. They'll probably tell us we need to quit talking about them.
Well, yeah, not only that, they don't want us to talk about them while we're drinking their product.
Oh.
You know what I mean? We could just, spell it out, like showcase.
I wish they would send me an email going, we really don't need you to talk. I'd be like, okay. That's the biggest mistake you don't even know how bad it is. Wait and see the next time. I'd be like, I'm drinking bourbon tonight, but guess what? I'm not drinking. I had some, but we used it in the lawnmower, whatever.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to sign off for the evening. We hope that you've enjoyed this session that you spent time here in the echo chamber. I know we have fun every time we get on, we talk, like we said in the beginning, we'll talk about anything and everything except politics. You'll never hear any political ideas come out of our mouths because we really don't like what it's being done today. So
exactly.
We'll never talk about it, but just always keep in mind that we are open for any suggestions on what you guys want to discuss with us, or if you're interested in being a guest on our show, reach out to us, get a hold of you, and see about working in sometime. So, again, we want to thank you for stopping by the Echo Chamber tonight. I know Kevin's pretty appreciative too, and we look forward to seeing you guys next Friday night.
Absolutely.
You guys have a good evening.